Hey guys, Darkrai91 here with a review of episode 59 of Dragon Ball Super. After a week with no episodes, we finally got an episode. And as I say at the very beginning before every episode, if you do not want to know what's going on or went on in tonight's episode, I suggest you clear off the video. Wait till tomorrow when you watch it with subtitles, or wait till after Monday because I know some people have work or they got a lot of events, maybe birthday parties or stuff going on. But let's just get right into it. The episode begins with Zamasu opening the door with his little cart of food and tea that him and Gowasu like to eat, and Zamasu is very surprised to see Beerus, Whis, Goku, and Kaioshin. And it threw me off a little bit in this episode because I did briefly just scan through the manga chapter 16 of Dragon Ball Super, and in one of the panels of the manga, we see Kibito, Kaioshin, Gowasu, and Zamasu training. So in the manga, they all know each other, but in the anime is a little different. They make it seem like Zamasu doesn't know who Kaioshin is, but it seems like Owasu knows who Kaioshin is. But Zamasu, he asks why they're there. He once he opened the door, he's speaking to himself. It's like, oh, why are they here? Maybe they caught on to what I was doing. But he just walks up and he asks why he's there. Beerus says that Goku wants to fight him again. But Goku says, "No, I don't." And we get the little funny scene that Beerus is always hitting Goku. He's got the big bump on his head, or Beerus pinches his cheeks, or he grabs him by the ear, throw him in the air. We always get those little funny scenes between Beerus and Goku. And Zamasu says, "Yeah, sure, let's spar. Let's have a rematch." But Beerus says, "No, let's have some tea." So Zamasu says, "Okay, I'll go get some more cups." And Whis is like, "No, no, that's not needed." So he takes his staff, he puts it towards the table, and he makes some tea, and there's some food there with it as well. And after knowing what went on when Vegeta, Goku, and Trunks went to the future, Beerus has the urge to kill him, but he cannot because he doesn't have the right to do it if there's no evidence of what's going on. Is almost like innocent until proven guilty. So right now he has to simmer down. He can't just go and kill anybody just because he wants to, because that's not what a god of destruction does. I know that's what they showed at the very beginning of in the manga, where they just show Beerus sitting on the planet, and because he didn't like the food, he destroyed half of it. But in the anime, they make it seem like he has to have a reason why he wants to destroy a planet or destroy a person or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, Beerus has an urge to kill Zamasu because he has a feeling that Zamasu wants to kill Gowasu, and all four of them do. But they can't say that he's guilty of something if he hasn't done anything yet. This is present time Zamasu we're talking about. This isn't the future one, because if it was the future ones, he would have gone and killed him. But technically, he wouldn't be able to because the future Zamasu is immortal. So they leave, and they leave the planet, but they spy on them, seeing Zamasu giving Gowasu some green tea. And from what we had in the preview, and I believe they did this on purpose, but from what we saw in the preview of episode 58, it made it seem like Zamasu gave Gowasu tea and he poisoned him, but that wasn't it. So we have a cutscene to the future, and Black is talking to Zamasu, and go Black Goku, he before he transforms into his Super Saiyan Rose, he goes, "Oh, the next time I see Goku and his friends, I'm gonna kill them." But Zamasu replies, "Well, if you kill them, who will you train with?" And they have another cutscene from the future back to the present time, but instead of being in Universe 10, it's actually Universe 7, and we see Trunks on a rock, with his head down, all emo, like he's about to release a record, and Kid Trunks is behind a tree, and he takes a deep breath, he opens his eyes, and he walks towards future Trunks, and he starts talking to him. And as I just said, Trunks sees future Trunks all emo and mopey likes, and tells him, "How can you protect my like that?" So Kid Trunks turns Super Saiyan. He punches future Trunks in the face, and actually knocks him onto the ground. But the only reason why he knocked him onto the ground was because he caught him off guard. He wasn't expecting him to turn Super Saiyan and knock him off the rocks. So and future Trunks is looking at him with a confused look. And before I go to the next scene, I wanted to talk about the way the future, not future Trunks, the way the Kid Trunks' hair looked when he turned Super Saiyan. It looked dramatically different than when he used to turn Super Saiyan. I don't know if it was the artist, I don't know what happened, but his hair was very, very different. He had a bang that was a little bit smaller than what it was. It made it from the side view kind of like Kaba. I'm not one to complain about the art style or the illustration from the artist, but the way they drew his hair, it was kind of off for me. I didn't like the way they drew his hair, but that's just a little something that I wanted to say. I didn't want to complain about it too much. So then after the Kid Trunks, Future Trunks scene, there's a commercial, and then we go back to Zamasu and Gowasu at the table drinking tea and eating food. So Zamasu gives Gowasu some tea, and Zamasu is telling Gowasu, I kind of understand what you mean by, we need mortals in the universe. Each mortal, mortals have, they give a balance to the universe. It isn't, you know if we have all gods in the universe, then what is there to do, what is there to rule over? And it's kind of ironic that no, I'll mention that in a little while. I won't mention what I was about to mention. But Zamasu stands up, and he charges up his keyblade, and he's about to hit Gowasu in the back of the neck, but he chokes. And at this image where we see Kaioshin, Goku, Beerus, and Whis looking at Gowasu and Zamasu, and it made it seem like Zamasu had hit Gowasu, but he was actually choking on his food. I believe he was eating a dumpling. I may be wrong. But then he lowers his hand, he puts it back behind him because Gowasu just drank some tea. He let the food go down, and he was feeling better. And Zamasu stands up after having a small conversation with Gowasu, charges his Keyblade, but Gowasu chokes on his food, and like I said, he drinks some tea. So then he does it again, and this time he hits him in the back of the neck, ending his life. But the whole time while watching, Goku's like, "Whis, do something. Whis is about to kill him. Whis, do something." They watch him, quote unquote, kill Zamasu, but Whis double tapped his wand or his staff on the ground, and he reverses time, just like he did in the Resurrection of F arc. And so Whis turns back time. They warp very, very fast to Universe 10 before right before Zamasu strikes Gowasu. And when Zamasu does strike him in the neck, but not in the way that he did previously. So the cat oven that we saw in the preview of episode 59 was actually the oven that Whis was gonna cover his hand, so he wouldn't kill Gowasu. And Gowasu, surprised, he's like, what just hit me? He turns around and he noticed that Zamasu's hand is in the oven, but it's still striking his hand. And at this point, Beerus is upset because he knows what's been going on, especially after Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks went to the future to fight Black and Gowasu, and Zamasu, excuse me. And Whis and Beerus tell Gowasu that Zamasu is planning on killing him, and tell him the whole future events and the Zero Mortals plan. And at first Gowasu was like, no, not Zamasu. He's turned into a leaf. You know, he's training to be a Kaioshin. Right now he's an apprentice, but from the events that just transpired, Gowasu truly sees who Zamasu is. That he's this evil, malicious person who has this evil intent. And after all, Beerus and Whis telling him all that, Gowasu looks at Zamasu and tells him, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself." While Zamasu still has his Keyblade behind him, it's still charged, and Goku says, "Yeah, I fought you in the future." And then he walks up to him, and he gets in his stance. He doesn't turn Super Saiyan. He doesn't turn Super Saiyan God. He doesn't turn Super Saiyan Blue. He's still in his base form, all ripped clothes from the future, and he goes in his fighting stance. And Zamasu tries to strike Goku, but Beerus blocks it. And it looked like he breaks his hand, but he just grabbed his hand and turned it, so he wouldn't do anything. And what Beerus does, and this is what my favorite part of the episode. Everyone wants to say that the little um mini, I guess you could say, mini fight, or the mini endeavor between Kid Trunks and Future Trunks is their favorite part. But my favorite part of the episode was Beerus says destruction in Japanese, and Zamasu, he lights up like this galaxy type color, but he's actually, I guess, quote unquote, turning into dust. And he just disappears. And Zamasu, I mean, not Zamasu, Gowasu's like, he's upset about it because he was trying to train Zamasu into being, a Kaioshin, but to see that Zamasu hasn't changed, it really did upset him. So then Goku is surprised, and I'm pretty sure what Goku's thing is like. Remind me not to get Beerus mad, because I could be next, or he could do that to me, type of deal. So then we go back to Universe 7, and uh, Future Trunks, he gets up and he smiles, and Kid Trunks goes back to his base form, and Future Trunks is walking to Kid Trunks, and he said, they shake hands. Future Trunks says thank you to Kid Trunks for knocking some sense into him, because Kid Trunks was right. He's like, how can you save Mai if you're all emo, like if you're all upset? Yes, she's in the future, you're in the present, but you still need to be on your feet, type of deal. You need to think of your next move. You can't think of the fact that you didn't lose Mai, but if he feels like he lost Mai, type of deal. And everyone shows up, but I guess Kaioshin went home, and Beerus, Goku, and Whis show up. And Beerus says Amasu is dead, and with him dead, Black should be gone in the future. Um, but let me rewind back. I'm sorry, I can't speak. Beerus says Amasu is dead, and with him dead, that Black should be gone in the future. And the future should be back to the way it was. But Trunks tells him that just because you killed present Zamasu doesn't mean that future Zamasu is dead. And he explains that when Android 17 and 18 were good, that future 17 and 18 was still bad, and he had to go back to the future and actually kill them. And um, Bulma is, she's happy, but at the same time, she's still worried or upset because just Black and Zamasu are still alive in the future. And then it cuts off there. There's the credits, and Zamasu and Black are still in the future. And Beerus was wrong and Future Trunks was right. And what we see is that Vegeta Super Saiyan Blue is they're gonna have a part 3 to their fight. It's gonna be their second rematch for Vegeta and Black, but it's gonna be the third rematch if Vegeta loses again and Goku has to fight Black. But regardless of the fact it's rematch, all three of them back in the future, and they're gonna attempt to fight Black and Vegeta, and this time defeat them. And I give 2 thumbs up. You know, it may not be a a worthy episode, you know, meaning there's not a lot of fighting, whatever. But as I say every time we get a small episode in between, you know, 2 big episodes and whatnot. Like I call them informative episodes because they fill in some blanks. They show what's or they remind us what's going on, and they fill in some blanks. They answer some questions, even though some questions weren't answered, but some of them were. But I like this episode. It was informative. I had a little fighting here, a little fighting there. It had me on the edge of my seat. But if you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, share to others who want to see it. And are you guys ready to see episode 60? 60 episodes in Super already. I can't wait for the rematch. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.